I didn't want to talk about any more about this Elizabeth Warren show, but this Elizabeth Warren story. But I got to talk about it because of the media, because of the way the media is doing it. And I want to just talk about, I want to tell the real story here so you actually can see what is going on. You know, there's an old Latin tag, falso in uno, falsus in omnibus. If you're false in one thing, you'll be false in everything. And so as you're listening to the story, as you're hearing it on NPR, on ABC, on NBC, in the New York Times, is any left-winger asking himself, if they would lie about this, if they would twist this, if they would con me about this, what else are they conning me about? What else are they scamming me about? How much of their opinions are false? What about their movie reviews? What about their headlines? Is everything just a scam from these people? I think it is a fair question to ask when you see this, because here it is laid out right in front of you. All these headlines saying Warren confirms her Indian heritage. Warren gets her ancestry right. Oh, Donald Trump was wrong about this. Remember, this is Donald Trump. He has been kidding her, calling her Pocahontas. It's supposed to be Focahontas, right? Because it's F-A-U-X. She's the fake Pocahontas. Harvard, when she was teaching there, listed her as one of their women of color. She put on federal forms that she was Native American when she taught at Penn Law School and Harvard Law School. When Trump challenged her, when she was put on the dime, because he's obviously was lying, she told this story over and over. Again, her parents, it was supposed to touch you, move you, so you'd feel that Trump was being mean, to the poor Indian woman. You know, first you take her land, then you kill her tribe, you burn her teepees, and then you insult her by saying she's not really. So she would tell the story. So some wag at the Free Beacon just strung together all the time she has told this story. Here's Elizabeth Warren on different shows telling this story over and over again.
Let me tell you a little bit about my family. Let me tell you the story of my family. My mother and dad were born and raised in Oklahoma. My mom and dad were born and raised out in Oklahoma. My mother and daddy were born and raised in Oklahoma. My father fell in love with my mother when they were both still teenagers. My daddy was in his teens when he fell in love with my mother. My daddy first saw my mother when they were both teenagers. A beautiful girl who played the piano. A tall, quiet girl who played the piano. He was just head over heels over her. And he was head over heels in love with her. Head over heels. But his family was bitterly opposed to their relationship. And his family was bitterly opposed to that. But his family was bitterly opposed to their relationship because she was part Native American. Because she was part Native American. Because she was part Native American. My parents eloped. They eventually eloped. They survived the Great Depression. They survived the Dust Bowl. They survived the Great Depression, the Dust Bowl. They went through a lot of hard times, a lot of knocks. They raised 3 boys, my older brothers, all of whom went off to the military. They raised my 3 brothers, all of whom headed off to the military. They hung together for 63 years. They hung together for 63 years. I know who I am because of what my mother and my father told me, from our mom and our dad, what my grandmother and my grandfather told me, from our grandparents, what all my aunts and uncles told me, from all of our aunts and uncles. It's a part of who I am, and no one's ever going to take that away. It's a part of me, and nobody's going to take that part of me away.
They lied to you, Liz. They lied. You got no Indian blood. She goes out, she gets a friend to test. She doesn't even send it to 23andMe, like a reputable company. She gets a friend, and they all have to do this because they don't have a lot of Native American DNA to test it against, right? So what they tested against, they use samples from Mexico, Peru, and Colombia. So she could be a little tiny drop Aztec, maybe. But all of this is to find out that she has between 1/64 and 1,024th of some kind of, Native North American blood, maybe, okay? Because the whole test seems bogus to me. But maybe, let me play Matt's Idea Shop, who I follow on Twitter, who I really like. He's very funny. He put out what 1,024th of the movie Pocahontas looks like. Here it is. That's how Indian Elizabeth Warren is at most. I mean, really, it is nonsense. Most Americans have twice as much as she does.